Americans love to talk about how we have the ability to elect our leaders. We're big on talking about how we can elect our leaders. But as Dick Gregory once said a long time ago, yes, we can elect our leaders, but you can't select your leaders. You don't select anyone. Your masters who own you will select who will run. You can merely vote on whoever they decide to allow you to vote on. And so when people go to the polls, for instance, people every 4 years are talking about going to the polls. How many people have ever wondered, what does the word poll mean? Why do you have to go to the poll? It's like the Gallup company. It's called a Gallup poll. Anytime some company is taking a poll, what does that mean? It doesn't mean that they are electing anybody. You take a poll to get a consensus of what the people are thinking. That's what a poll is. It's called a Gallup poll. There are many other companies that conduct polls for universities, for government. So that's what a poll is to get a consensus of what the people are thinking. How many people like this color or this product as opposed to how many like the Pepsi as opposed to Coca-Cola, as opposed to root beer? And so they take a poll. And so the poll shows that the masses all particularly like one product. That's all they want to know. Just which one do you like best? It doesn't mean much of anything. It's just a poll. And so every 4 years, Americans go to the poll to tell their masters who own them. And they do own you. Your body is a security on the New York Stock Exchange. You need to understand that. And so every 4 years, your masters who actually own your body want to know which one of these individuals that work for us, they work for the corporation, you work for the company, but which one of these would you feel better about having at the head of the company? Which one do you personally like? All 6 of them work for the company. They work for the government, period. But which one do you particularly like? Because this way, if you particularly like one and you vote for him, then we will make him the president of the company, and you will be happy because it was your choice. No, it wasn't your choice. You didn't have the opportunity to select your leader. You only had the opportunity to elect one of the 6 that they gave you, and all 6 work for the same company. So this is why nothing ever gets done, because people don't understand how their world really works. Extraordinary stuff. I suspect that this is a very important time in human history, and especially in the history of our country, when you don't know how your government works. You had better wake up and understand that you have left your government in the hands of other people to take care of things for you because you're too busy with your everyday life. Well, when you leave your personal business and your children and your life in the hands of someone else to take care of you, they're going to take care of you all right. Whatever decisions they make, they're going to take care of themselves, not you. Because you left yourself in their care, they will decide what you will eat. They will decide what you will wear. They will decide if you will have a job or not. Why? Well, because you left yourself in my care. I'm supposed to be in charge of you. So I will decide how much you will make. And you can bet that I'm going to make 1,000 times more than you do. Because I'm in charge. After all, you voted for me. So I'm just saying that it's time for us to wake up. These are very evil days, and unless America is ready to wake up and face the facts that we have been lied to, deceived, and tricked into surrendering our lives, our minds, our sovereignty of thinking, and as I said in the beginning, what we need more than anything now is a spiritual and intellectual renaissance, a revolution spiritually around the world, where people wake up to the responsibility to stand before your Creator and be a normal adult human being who knows what's going on, who understands the world, and can contribute something to the good for the whole human race. But it's going to require that you educate yourself and understand how the world works. I have learned many things in the past 53 years of my life and examining the world in which I live. And one thing I've come to quite a few conclusions. One thing in particular is I see no advantage in confronting power. Anytime you confront power, you will pay for it. The Jews who stood up to Adolf Hitler paid a hell of a price. The poor people of Russia who stood up to the tyranny of the communist movement in the Soviet Union paid a terrible price. You always, always pay a terrible price when you stand up against tyranny, violence. And since the world that we live in today is basically run by fear and tyranny and violence and threats, and there is no longer any freedom and liberty and justice for all, of which America used to be famous for. Superman in one of the movies said he stands for the American way, freedom, liberty, and justice for all. Well, I like what Dick Gregory said, you're no longer free or brave. This is not a land of the free and a home of the brave. We're not free or brave. So it does not pay to confront government or to confront your masters. The way I have chosen to do my work is just to quietly try and help young people and anyone else who is listening, but I'm mostly concerned with the lives of young people because older people usually are so jaded they don't want to change anything. They're not interested in changing anything. But young people see the value in changing for the better. Older people don't. And so I have always wanted to just quietly do the best I can to cause young people to read, study, educate themselves, intellectually and spiritually enlighten themselves, because this is very important in this time of these times in which we're living. For young people to understand the word grounding, you need to be grounded. You're a biological battery, and you need to be grounded. And we know scientifically that when you take your shoes off and walk in the grass or walk on the beach, you are grounding yourself because, as I said, your body is a biological, electrical battery of sorts. And so you're grounding yourself with your Creator, with your earth, with the earth that you came from. And so the best way to ground yourself is to also spiritually and intellectually begin to educate yourself, begin to read and study. And of course that's a very radical and revolutionary idea, because the tyrants of Russia that took over the Russian people, the Soviet Union, Adolf Hitler, who took over the Nazis, that took over Nazi Germany, that was something very, very dangerous to do under those totalitarian dictatorships, is to start thinking on your own and questioning authority. You don't question Adolf Hitler, and you don't question Mao Zedong in China. You don't question the communist emperors. You don't question the warlords or the mafia or the gangs. You don't question that. It's tyranny. It's fear. And unless and until the human race can get back their sovereignty to question everything, to question the ethics, the laws, the rulers, who these people are who rule over us, where do they get their authority to rule over us? Unless you're ready to do that, you might as well understand your children and your grandchildren are going to live under tyranny. They're going to live in a very violent, dark, and evil world that is coming. And so I believe that the only hope for the human race is for a spiritual and intellectual renaissance where people begin to question everything Do not accept anything from anyone unless you can prove it to yourself. Because there's a lot of people out there with a lot of money and very powerful people who will lie to you through their teeth and couldn't care less because they have no respect for you and they know that you're going to buy anything they say and therefore they will have their way with you. I would suggest to save the human family, you might want to start quietly resisting tyranny.